It's Thursday, July 30. This is the news on PBCJ. I'm Carol Francis. As at Thursday morning, the number of active COVID-19 cases in the island stands at 76. One new case was recorded over the last 24 hours. The new case, which has been classified as imported, is of an adult female from Clarendon. This brings to 856 the overall number of confirmed positives for the island. Of that number, 724 have recovered, 46 were repatriated, and 10 have died. There are no critically ill cases at this time. 80 million Jamaican dollars. That's the value of contracts awarded to the firm Market Me by the Ministry of Health. However, these contracts did not go to public tender. This from Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Dunstan Bryan, at Wednesday's sitting of Parliament's Public Administrations and Appropriations Committee, PAAC. We have more in this report.
Permanent Secretary Dunstan Bryan was summoned before the PAAC to give answer to the Health Ministry's engagement of the Market Me firm. In recent weeks, the hitherto unknown company has been at the center of growing public opinion about possible conflicts of interest. PAAC Chairman Wickham McNeil pressed Mr. Bryan as to the full extent of the contracts awarded.
How much is the total sum here?
It would be about 60.
No, it has to be more than
86.5 $86.5 million.
86.5 million. And what I'm saying to you, which is the point that we're coming a full circle on, all of these contracts were given through mechanisms that did not allow them to go out to public tender. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right.
No, it's very important that that is made for the record, because it's not. Oh, no, and for the purposes of the civil servants that are here, and for our own the process, you will have to understand that a day-to-day decision is made on all of these activities, and sometimes we don't see each other, meaning that a unit may make a decision to hire someone, and they don't necessarily consult with another unit who may be also negotiating to hire that same someone. All of these, of the contract that are purchase orders in most instances, so they are not things that would percolate up to procurement. They are individual instances of purchasing of goods and services that are paid to the suppliers, not necessarily from a procurement transaction position. Remember, there's a threshold of $1.5 million that you are allowed to utilize direct contracting without having to go through any procurement procedure.
Mr. Bryan said many of the contracts were approved by the various regional health authorities and the National Family Planning Board. Still, the chairman said the arrangement appeared unusual. However, Member of Parliament for South Manchester Michael Stewart escalated the matter when he muttered that the contracts appeared to be splintered. The Permanent Secretary took exception to this.
First contract with Market Me, the second contract with Market Me, and then the contract with Market Me that was done by National Family Planning Board. The first contract with Market Me was for Jamaica Moves. The second contract with Market Me was for Jamaica Moves. And it's clear why we went into the second contract and why we utilized the procurement method that we used for the second contract. The contract with NFPB was for a different program in a different agency. So I would not want to leave here accumulating and saying that because that intimates that there was some sort of splintering of activities, and within the ambit of the rules which we are adhered to as best as we possibly can in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, despite the limitations that we have, those activities are frowned on, especially by me for sure, and I am sure my technical directors. So I'm cautious because over the past 2 weeks or so, or 3 weeks, we have had to endure a great deal of distress at a very critical time of this for us in this country.
The sitting further descended into raucous exchanges between government and opposition members.
Just as how the opposition is here to tear the technocrats apart, we are
No.
here.
Member Clark.
Yes,
Member Clark.
Yes,
You
Mr.
are
Chairman, and I will stand by
you're
my
impugning
argument.
motive.
You know why
Member
I said
Clark.
it?
No,
You know why I
Member
said it, Mr.
Clark.
Chairman? Because
That
I could not
is-
believe for the
No.
life of me.
Member
that
Member Clark, with due respect,
And it
I
is
would
with
ask
due
you to
respect that I'm saying
withdraw
it, Mr.
that
Chairman.
statement.
Member Michael Stewart was the one who spoke about splintering of contracts. And it is unfair to the technocrats. And that's why the PS replied the way he did a while ago. Because
You know-
they have to go out in John public and they have their integrity to stand by. I am asking you, Mr. Chairman, to ask Member Stewart to retract the statement.
Member Clark.
He is a member of the opposition, and you stand by his
On a
quote.
point of order, Chairman. My recollection is that Member Stewart said it appears that way, and he was corrected by
But he
the
did not say
Permanent
anything about
Secretary.
appear. He said that they are splintering the contracts. And that is when I said to him that there are different agencies, so you cannot speak about splintering of contract. He should apologize to the technocrats before they leave here.
Another matter that came to light was the timeline regarding the launch of the Jamaica Moves campaign and the signing of a contract between Market Me and the Health Ministry. The PAAC's probing of this matter is set to continue at its next sitting, scheduled for August 12. For the news on PBCJ, I'm Gabrielle Thompson.
Jamaica's security got a welcomed boost recently. The Jamaica Defense Force Coast Guard has acquired a fast cruise supplier 5009 cutter for oceanic patrols. The vessel, which blends both innovation and proven technologies, is highly fuel efficient and a versatile patrol vessel. The vessel was commissioned HMJS Nanny of the Maroons. We get more in this report from Melvin Pennant.
The ship was designed and manufactured by the Damen Group, and it gives the JDF more versatility to patrol the island's exclusive economic zones, EEZs. JDF Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Rocky Mead, welcomed the addition to the fleet.
Given Jamaica's geographic location, we are vulnerable to criminal elements who use our maritime space to traffic illicit items and steal our resources. Given this scenario, it is imperative that securing our maritime space is enhanced as a key feature of our national security architecture. The acquisition of HMJS Nanny of the Maroons is but one of a series of steps being taken to establish a safer and more secure maritime space. The other 3 vessels to come will facilitate the establishment of the 2nd District JDF Coast Guard, which will be based in Western Jamaica.
National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang and Prime Minister Andrew Holness were also present for the commissioning.
Illicit trade in guns, drugs, and persons that take place on the high seas feed directly into the violent criminal activities that occur in our society. It is therefore strategically prudent that we intercept them before they get to our shores. The establishment and expansion of the MAC Brigade has dealt a significant blow to the criminals involved in transnational criminal activity. That is the value and proposition of the HMJS Nanny of the Maroons, that is equipped with the latest technology in the area of maritime patrol operations.
There was a time when there were persons who would say, we have no plans, or there are no plans in place. Well, each time we point to the acquisition of capabilities and capacities such as this, it destroys that argument. This government has been very systematic in providing not just the plans on paper, but to actually deliver the tools to ensure that the plan can be put in place. So yes, Plan Secure Jamaica is coming alive. It is not a plan on paper. in a filing cabinet somewhere. It is a living, breathing document, a plan that is every day being executed, and every day we see the evidence of the plan coming into being.
The ship is fitted with a powerful weapon system and it can be used as a crew boat and a fast supplier. It can also perform maritime safety as well as search and rescue missions. Melvin Pennant, PBCJ News.
Appeals to the Revenue Appeals Division, RAD, in the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service have trended down. That's according to Revenue Appeals Commissioner Dr. Delori Stable-Chambers.
The number of appeals coming, especially from Tax Administration Jamaica, have reduced, but the substance of the and the complexity of the issues that are now coming before us have increased, and the tax value under appeal has also gone up. So we are seeing now the cases that are coming to us now are real tax disputes and not just people being dissatisfied.
The RAD came into existence in 2015 and replaced its predecessor, the Tax Appeals Department. Since its inception, the division has been working to improve service delivery and the efficiency of the appeals process. The commissioner was speaking at a recent JIS think tank session.
For 2017-2018, we closed 155 cases, and 73 of those were in favor of the tax department. So about 50% was in favor of the taxpayers. In 2018-19, we closed 141 cases, and a little more now in favor of the taxpayer, about 60%. And in 2019-20, we did 117 cases, and about 68% in favor of taxpayers. So the value to taxpayers of using the appeal process is apparent in these numbers.
The COVID-19 pandemic has turned up an unexpected surprise for reigning Miss World Jamaica's Tony Ann Singh. She will reign an extra year as the international pageant will not be staged this year due to the current health crisis. Crown of Beauty local franchise holders indicated that the CEO of Miss World, Julia Morley, informed them of this year's pageant cancellation. Singh became the fourth Jamaican to win the Miss World title when she was crowned on December 14, 2019. We now take a look at the latest gas prices and other market news. Here is the business report with Gabriel Thompson.
According to the latest ex-refinery costs from PetroJam, motorists should see an increase at the pumps in the prices of gasoline and diesel effective Thursday, July 30. 87 and 90 octane gasoline will be sold for $116.54 and $119.37 per liter, up by $2.50 each. Automotive diesel fuel will be sold for $115.62 per liter, following an increase of $1.21, while ultra-low sulfur is up by $1.51 and will be sold for $118.76 per liter. Kerosene saw a price increase of $1.93 and will be sold for $92.44 per liter. Propane liquid petroleum will be sold for $49.24 per liter, up by $1.39, and butane liquid petroleum will be sold for $51 per liter after an increase of $1.53. Marketing companies and retailers will add their markup to these prices. In Wednesday's trading session, the JSE combined index advanced by 1,285 points to close at under 400,000 units. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 81 stocks, of which 37 advanced, 35 declined, and 9 traded firm. The junior market index advanced by 31 points to close at under 3,000 units. Stocks advanced for 138 Student Living Jamaica, Blue Power Group, and Caribbean Assurance Brokers Limited. Stocks declined for 138 Student Living Variable Preference, AMG Packaging and Paper Company, and Barita Investments. trading firm were 1834 Investments, Carreras Limited, and Jamaican Teas Limited. Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited was the volume leader with 11.7 million units, followed by Wigton Wind Farm Limited ordinary shares with 5.1 million units, and Proven Investments Limited US dollar with under 1 million units. Now for the foreign exchange. The US dollar on Wednesday, July 29, ended trading at $147.71. The Canadian dollar sold for an average $111.82. The pound sterling traded for $190.90, and the euro ended trading at $176.28. Oil prices fell on Thursday as surging coronavirus infections around the world threatened to jeopardize a recovery in fuel demand, just as major oil producers are set to raise output. Brent crude futures fell 56 cents to $43.19 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate crude futures dropped 60 cents to settle at $40.67 a barrel. And that's it for the business report on PBCJ. I'm Gabrielle Thompson.
This week on Culinary Trails, Simone Absalom heads to Central Plaza in Halfway Tree, where she discovered the perfect place to have the most refreshing ice-cold summer drinks.
Everyone knows about your basic fruits and vegetable smoothies, those creamy pureed filling drinks. You can add an array of various spices, herbs, superfoods, and other health foods. The possibilities are endless.
Hi, my name is Leonard Christian. I'm from Central Smoothie, and today I will be preparing a granola punch for you guys. In the granola punch, you get the protein powder, the granola mostly, oats, banana, and almond milk. Come on. Frozen banana instead. Less than a minute. Ready.
So why should you drink smoothies? They're healthy. You'll get your daily allowance of fruits and vegetables. Also, they're quick and easy. Make your own nutrient-dense smoothie. It doesn't take as long as preparing most meals. It gives you time for other things.
Today I'm going to do for you our special strawberry crush. That includes banana, pineapple, strawberry, and protein. We'll be using the way strawberry flavored protein today. Orange juice. 1 banana. Strawberries, depending on if you're a strawberry lover. To that we'll add half a scoop of protein, and a scoop of ice.
love a good fruit smoothie. Let's see if Jamaicans are into the idea of thick blended fruits and veggies.
So what's your favorite smoothie?
Strawberry banana.
Wow. Do you think Jamaicans are really into this smoothie thing, or you think it's something that's catching on but not quite much?
For persons who, believe in like being healthy, then yes. It's not really about like a trend thing. Some people really take it seriously. Like for me, I love strawberry banana or strawberry, or even the pumpkin seed.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing, especially when you're hot. You know Jamaica is hot. So when you're hot, you go, you add a smoothie. It cools you down because you have the ice taste and the fruit taste. And yeah, it's good like that.
What's your favorite smoothie?
Power punch.
What's in a power punch smoothie?
Protein, granada, oats, soy milk, I think, and fruit, banana. Yes, I see. It fills you up for the day, so it's very good.
Next time you're in Halfway Tree, check out the smoothie stand in Central Plaza or OJ's Smoothies in Crossroads, right by Harmon Barracks.
In regional news, the Commission of the Guyana Election Commission, GEECOM, says the commission has the power to terminate the services of the Chief Elections Officer, Keith Lowenfield, and appoint a new person to take over his duties. Despite being asked 4 times by the chairman of GEECOM to submit his final election report using figures from the national vote recount, Mr. Lowenfield has reportedly refused to do so.
It is almost 5 months since the March 2nd general and regional elections, and no winner has been declared. With no end in sight to the current elections impasse, People's Progressive Party nominated commissioner on the Guyana Elections Commission, says Gunraj, said GEECOM has the power to dismiss its chief elections officer Keith Lowenfield and move on with the process. The embattled Lowenfield is also before the Georgetown Magistrates Court for 3 private criminal charges relating to fraud, misconduct in office, and breach of the public's trust by providing results of the March 2nd elections, which he knows to be false. He is currently on $450,000 bail.
The commission is not without power to terminate the services of the CEO. And similarly, the commission is not without the power. The commission is perfectly able to take such steps as is necessary to either replace the CEO or to give directions to have its decisions carried out.
Gunraj was speaking during a live interview with Globespan online agency. Several political parties and the private sector commission have called for the CEO to be fired. Lowenfield has repeatedly refused to submit a report using the results from the national vote recount, which shows a win for the opposition People's Progressive Party by 15,416 votes. His most recent report to the commission contains figures from the returning officer for District 4 Clement Mingo, which was found to be fraudulent and bloated to give the incumbent APNU-AFC a victory at the polls. On Thursday, the Court of Appeal is set to deliver its ruling in a case challenging those recount figures, and Gunraj is optimistic that the situation will come to an end when the court rules.
Come Thursday, when the court rules in a manner that he expects it to rule, similarly, I expect that the suffering that this nation has been subjected to over the last 5 odd months would come to an end.
The appeal court is being asked to reverse the High Court ruling that the recount figures are valid and should be used to declare the election's winner. This is the 4th litigation before the court since March 2nd, and each time, GEECOM decided to await the court's final ruling.
Staying of the commission's hand, so to speak, on every occasion has been by choice and not compulsion. I think it was on one occasion that there was an injunction restraining the commission from acting. But there has been no impediment preventing the commission from declaring, etc., except by choice.
Previous litigations have ended up before the Caribbean Court of Justice. The CCJ will be going on a 2-month vacation from July 31st to August 5th, but has noted that its e-filing system remains open and any matter considered urgent by the court will be heard. Pbcjj, Newsroom.
Trinidad and Tobago's Health Minister Terence Singh is appealing to people who have been in contact with COVID-19 positive cases to cooperate with the Ministry of Health. Crystal Wilson of TTT News has that story.
Trinidad and Tobago continue to increase, with 3 schools closed, the most recent, the St. Augustine South Government Primary, and a number of businesses and government agencies also ordered shut for sanitizing purposes. Health Minister Terence Singh called on members of the public to cooperate with the ministry's contact tracing team. During Wednesday's COVID-19 virtual media update, the Health Minister said the tracing team have been encountering hostility from members of the public in their attempt to identify secondary and tertiary contacts.
Understand that some of the questions may be of a private and personal nature, but hostility and hanging up the phone is not the way to go. We understand we may be asking you how long you are living in a particular location. That may be deemed private, but it's important. We understand that when we are asking you who is your partner, your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, who are your close personal contacts, as far as your position is concerned, it's personal, and it is. But we are in the middle of a pandemic.
The Health Minister said when people are contacted, they are reluctant to share their addresses and identify their companions. He said the information, although personal in nature, is crucial to locating the source of the virus and preventing further spread. Meanwhile, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parasram said investigations for contact tracing have so far determined that one of the local cases is linked to a person who entered the country without being detected. He added that the Ministry of National Security will be informed and an attempt will be made to locate the person.
We are relying heavily on the clinical history given to us by patients and their contacts. In some circumstances, we understand that there may be difficulty in recall. In order to assist, as Minister has indicated, with the ongoing tracking exercises, we ask patients that they and their contacts to be as forthcoming as possible with all information.
Dr. Parasram said, considering the gap in time between case number 116 in April 2020 and the recent local case in July 2020, this development is likely to be the start of a new phase of COVID-19 infections in Trinidad and Tobago. Crystal Wilson, TTT News.
In sports, we kick off with football. President of the Jamaica Football Federation, JFF, Michael Ricketts, says he has no issue to the new CONCACAF World Cup qualifying format. The regional football governing body released the new framework on Wednesday. The changes will see the number of teams in the final round increasing from 6 to 8. The top 5 teams in the region, based on FIFA rankings as of July 16, qualify automatically. The Reggae Boys qualify by having maintained their top 5 ranking. The top 3 teams will still qualify for the World Cup, with the 4th place team entering a continental playoff. The final round is scheduled to begin next June. According to Mr. Ricketts, they will have enough time to structure their preparations and to approach potential partners for financial support. And the cash-strapped Jamaica Football Federation could receive $1 million as part of FIFA's COVID-19 relief plan. And FIFA recently announced plans to make a total of $1.5 billion available to its 211 member associations from the 6 confederations to alleviate the impact of the coronavirus pandemic. Each confederation will also be entitled to $4 million in loans. And in the weather report, Tropical Storm Isaias battered Puerto Rico on Thursday as it continued on a track towards the U.S. mainland, unleashing small landslides and causing widespread flooding and power outages on the island, which is still recovering from previous hurricanes and ongoing earthquakes. Especially hard hit by the storm's maximum sustained winds of 60 miles per hour or 96 kilometers per hour was Puerto Rico's southern region, which is still being shaken daily by tremors. Isaias was located about 100 miles or 160 kilometers west-southwest of Ponce, Puerto Rico, and about 160 miles or 257 kilometers southeast of Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic, according to the U.S. National Hurricane Center. It was moving west-northwest at 25 miles per hour, 33 kilometers per hour. The center was expected to move over Hispaniola later on Thursday near the southeastern Bahamas by early Friday. And that's our package. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same place, for more news, sports, and weather reports right here on PBCJ, the People's Station.